Steve Harriman, Stan's twin brother, is the one who's responsible for the foundation of it. But tell us more about the foundation and what it's been able to do.
Yep.
Well, I will say one thing, that when Steve asked me to first join the foundation, I immediately remembered the first time I met Stan. Chris and Stan were on the same team together, and we were at a team picnic. And Stan and Sheila took the time at that time to sit down with me. We were just chatting, and I was working full-time, and I just mentioned to them how much I wanted to quit my job. I wanted to go to school and stay with the kids, go to school. And they spent almost an hour with me encouraging me, go to school, you stay with your family, do what's good for you and your family. And I had no idea that 2 years later this would mean so much to me. So when Steve asked me to join, I thought, this is exactly what Stan would want, is future encouragements of people to go to school. And I immediately said yes. The foundation is, I love Steve, I love Cheryl, his wife. Yes, we're a very small organization. There are 3 of us that work, Steve, Cheryl, and I, and of course we have a lot of people that help as well. We just do whatever we can to say thank you to soldiers, thank you to their families. Through scholarships, we also do things like at Christmas time, we've adopted families through chaplains, and I don't know what else.
Well, Steve was telling me that at Christmas time, you guys were able to provide gifts for kids as well, too.
We do.
And that they delivered it to the house of some of our soldiers.
Right.
Some people,
Absolutely.
some people need some
Right.
extra help, but sometimes they feel bad about receiving extra help.
Right.
So I thought it was really nice that Steve and his wife Cheryl actually delivered it to their home,
Right.
as opposed to maybe having it at a function.
Yeah, I think it's important, Dr. T, that we clear up one myth here, and that is the government does not provide everything for our soldiers. Chris and Athena can tell you about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so there are gaps there, because I've heard people say, well, doesn't the government provide that for our military? Nope. There's some things they don't. So.
The reality is that there's a good number of our soldiers, especially if they are the lower ranks of
Right.
the enlisted ranks,
Sure.
that what they get paid is just not enough. And even if the wife is working, if they have children and then they have daycare expenses, they're almost working just to pay for the daycare.
Right.
So there's some social programs that help with that, like WIC, and then there's the Army Community Services that will help them with things like lending closet for clothes and stuff. But during the holidays, when those parents want to make the difference the most for their children and
Sure.
give them that gift of Christmas, that gift of giving, and they just don't have it to give, that's where the Stan the Man Foundation steps in and helps them with that and relieve some of that stress and pressure by saying, here's some gifts for the kids so they have a great Christmas. Here's a nice meal for the family so they can have a good Christmas dinner together. And it's all about showing those families that there are organizations just like Stan the Man that care about those soldiers and their families' needs. They're not forgotten, and they'll do everything they can to make their lives better.
Yeah. We also want to mention Sheila Harriman, the widow
Absolutely.
of Stan Harriman. Sheila's been involved with the foundation, and I can't imagine what Sheila's gone through since the loss of her husband. Did they have children too? Sheila and
Absolutely.
Stan?
They have 2 children. They have an older daughter, Darby, who's roughly, I think, 15. And then they have their son, Stanley Christopher, who is 13. And, we have basically, our children are the same ages as them, and they've all grown up together. We've known each other since 2001. So, it's been very interesting and somewhat blessing to see them grow as they have. But the beautiful thing about Sheila is that she ensures that her children know who their father was, especially, Christopher. He was quite young when his father passed, so he didn't really know him, but through Sheila and all their memories and their discussions, he knows who his father was, and they honor their father all the time.
He looks just like his daddy.
He is the spitting image of Stanley Lauren Harriman.
And how closely resembled does Steve and Stan? They were almost.
They are identical twins. Steve might be a little uncomfortable when mentioning this, but the first time that the whole team and the wives got together to meet with Sheila and the kids and to have that circle of love and caring and understanding, Steve showed up, and it was actually kind of traumatic for a lot of the guys on the team, because when you see Steve, you see Stan.